Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, we're going to reenact the Dimir crime deck. So, somebody in my comments talked about how the Omniscience, the Azorius Omniscience deck is rotating out. Even though Abuelo's Awakening is banned, we had Recharge and Resurge, or whatever it's called, the white mana card, the white 5 mana card that reanimates a enchantment or artifact from our graveyard. That's rotating out. But you don't just have to play Azorius Omniscience. There is a Dimir Omniscience deck that works with Reenact the Crime, which is not rotating out. So the idea is we're going to put Omniscience into our graveyard, reenact the crime on that same turn to bring it back into play. Well, make a copy of it and put it into play, and then we have Omniscience. So that idea still works. Now, this deck is pseudo-rotation proof. It's not fully rotation proof because one of the most important cards in the deck is rotating out in two actually, in Atraxa, Grand Unifier, as well as Invasion of Arcavios. So those are two very important cards. Obviously, Atraxa helps us dig deeper, and that card's rotating out. And Invasion of Arcavios is the infinite combo card, which is also rotating out. But I'm pretty sure that we'll figure out a way to still play this deck, even though we don't have the infinite combo. Having a free cast spell along with Beseech the Mirror to search up any spell in your deck does usually mean we can do whatever we want once Omniscience is out. So yes, it's pseudo-rotation proof. There are a few cards still rotating out, but the whole deck will still work afterwards. That's at least my idea. But of course, I'm going to try to play the version that exists right now, which is this version that I used to play, but I fine-tuned a little bit for the current metagame. So a lot of the aggro has been rotating or banned out, so we can go a little bit slower and get more value in the early game. And the idea of that is to go with the Enigma Jewel and the Collector's Vault. Neither of these two cards are rotating out, and they're very good cards. So the Enigma Jewel has to come into play tapped, but we can tap it to add 2 mana, 2 colorless mana, but only use it to activate abilities. The ability that we want to activate is right here, Collector's Vault. So we can use this, tap it to activate Collector's Vault, draw a card, discard a card, make a treasure. That will help us ramp very quickly to reenact the crime, but it also will help us discard Omniscience into the graveyard so we can reenact it. With this deck, we can even reenact Omniscience on turn 3, and win on turn 3 with an Omniscience combo, even faster than the Abuelo's deck. Well, of course, to do that, we need to get very lucky, and if we don't get very lucky, how do we fight the rest of the games? Well, we got 2 Duress in the early game to make sure that we can fight Disruption, because this deck also folds pretty hard to opponent just playing their Duress. So we want to Duress their Duress before they can Duress us. And we also want to have 4 Bitter Triumph to kill Deep Cavern Bats and things of the like, but Bitter Triumph also help us discard a card from our hand. So if your opponent sticks a Planeswalker, like a Liliana or an Elspeth that looks very scary, you can always Bitter Triumph them away, discarding your Omniscience, and then reenact the crime. But keep in mind, reenact the crime has to be the same turn, so that combo takes 6 mana, which is a little bit harder to do. So you can actually Bitter Triumph and discarding Atraxa as well, and then just have Atraxa in the graveyard, which we can later on zombify with this deck. Now, I added 1 Zombify in the deck for that exact reason. So, Bitter Triumph is a good card to play either early game for just tempo and survivability, or late game for the combo to reenact Omniscience. Turn 3, we have whatever it is, Malcatraz Great Door. Right, so this is a very good door because you draw a card, discard a card for 3 mana. Obviously, it's no Celestis, but you still get to draw a card every turn, which is loot a card every turn, which is pretty good. We need that card selection, but more importantly, we need that discard to activate Omniscience. So we can play the Great Door on turn 3, activate it on turn 4 if you have 4 mana to reenact. Sometimes you might have the wrong mana. What if you have 3 black instead of 3 blue? Or what if you don't have Reenact the Crime in your hand? This is why we don't just have 4 Reenact the Crime. We have 8 Reenact the Crime in 4 more Beseech the Mirror. Beseech the Mirror says bargain, and we can cast a spell, we can search our library for a spell and cast it if its mana value is 4 or less, if we bargain. Otherwise, it's just the Demonic Tutor, or Diabolic Tutor, the 4 mana one, right? So we obviously don't want to play it as a tutor. We want to play it as a tutor plus a free cast, so we want to bargain something. Luckily, we got Collector's Vaults at Great Doors that we can easily bargain. Even the Enigma Jewel, we can bargain, because we're about to win, so we can bargain out the Reenact the Crime. So 3 black, we can Beseech, 3 blue can reenact. Either way, we'll get out the Reenact the Crime and win this turn. So that's the idea, but sometimes you don't get as lucky and you don't get Omniscience in your graveyard. Sometimes in the early game, just to survive, you tossed a Atraxa with Bitter Triumph into the graveyard. So in that case, we can Beseech the Mirror out the one Zombify in the deck. That's why there's one Zombify in the deck instead of 4. You don't need that many. You can always search for the Zombify with Beseech the Mirror, so it's like having 5 Zombify already. I also slotted in one Leyline of the Void because there are so many graveyard decks out there. I want to try out Leyline of the Void instead of the Ghost Vacuum. I think Leyline of the Void is better than Ghost Vacuum in this deck. Ghost Vacuum is 1 mana, whereas turn 1, we really want to play the Enigma Jewel or Duress to make sure that we don't get disrupted. So we don't, it's very difficult to slot in that 1 mana turn, whereas in Leyline of the Void, it's free in the opening hand, if you get lucky. If you don't, it is what it is. You might have to cast it for 4, and by that point, it didn't even matter if Leyline comes in or not. Usually by that time, either you win or your opponent wins. Then our win con is the 2 Invasion of Arcavios into the sideboard for Jeskai Revelation. But before that, we had to talk about the other cards we want to discard. 4 Atraxa and 4 Omniscience. Those are the cards that we are never hard cast, we're just going to discard. Actually, that's not quite true. If we Collector's Vote enough times, we can easily hard cast Atraxa, which is pretty fun with this deck. It's actually insane how quickly we're able to cast Atraxa if we turn 1 Jewel and turn 2 Vault. It's a very hard combo to pull off because you need to get very lucky, but when you do, it is so enticing, so satisfying. Then the land base, we're going to have 2 island, 2 swamps, 4 Undercity Sewers, which is, as you count it, 8 basic land type, plus 3 Fabled Passage, so 11 cards that could give us basic land type, which is pretty important because then we can activate one of the 4 Gloomlake Verges. Right, so these are dual color lands. We also have 4 Darkslick Shores. This card is rotating out, so we're going to have to find a better card. I'm pretty sure Watery Grave is in the new set. It might not be, but eventually it'll come out. And we also have 4 Underground River, which is also rotating out, but we'll find some other cards to replace that. And we have 1 Mistrise Village. I think this card is questionable in this deck because it always comes into play tapped, but there's a lot of blue-white control decks out there, so maybe we want to make sure by paying 6 mana that our Reenact the Crime can't be countered. So we get an uncounterable Omniscience. That feels pretty satisfying. So that's the whole idea of the deck. And the sideboard, really all you need is Jeskai Revelation, but I always like to slot in with a few cards that I still need in some matchups. So if our opponent has a white board and we could not draw anything other than Invasion, we can just fetch out Deadly Cover-Up and that will wipe their board. We can also get Step Between Worlds to shuffle our graveyard back, combo with Titania's Command, which would exile our opponent's graveyard, so make sure that we don't deck out because Jeskai Revelation does force us to draw cards. We can have a Time Stop, which is a counter everything kind of spell. We can have Season of Weaving, which is our backup to This Sound Ain't Big Enough, which got banned. This bounces everything so that we can bounce the Invasion if we need to. And finally, one of the most important cards in the sideboard, into the Flood Maul. This deck folds pretty easily to Graveyard Hate. So if your opponent's playing Graveyard Hate like a Leyline of the Void, and was an Agatha Soul Cauldron or a Ghost Vacuum, you want to use Invasion Arcavios first, look for Flood Maul, and play it at the opponent's end step, Flood Mauling their Graveyard Hate spell. Then on your turn, we'll be able to toss Omniscience in the graveyard and immediately reenact it before they can replay their Graveyard Hate. That's at least the idea. Let's see how well this deck will actually do in the metagame. Alright, our opponent is Harmony Toll. He's gonna take a toll on us, trying to be harmonious, while our opponent goes first. We got Reenact the Crime. We got pretty much the whole thing here. Well, do black, huh? I can't get a black mana anyway, so I'm just gonna Fabled Passage here. I might get a bat here, but hey, it is what it is, you know. I'm kind of prepared to fight disruption in this deck. Kind of just accepting it now. Okay, turn 2, another swamp. Here's a bat. There it is. Alright, what is he gonna take here? He can take anything he wants, but probably the Bitter Triumph. I don't know what else he can take. Take my Duress. He can take the Duress. He does take the Duress. Let's get ourselves a blue mana. Yeah, we get the Gloomlake Verge out. Now we gotta be careful, right? Unholy Annex. Do we... This is kind of tricky, because how useful is a Duress on him now that he already annexed? Still think we do it. Ooh, the door. There's a lily. Don't need this swamp. Don't think I need the swamp. Obviously, I can't Beseech the Mirror without that swamp, but you know, we will see. He just needs to top deck a Duress or something, right? Double Demon Wall. Alright. I was prepared for a slasher, but we did not get slashed. So here's the great door. Our doors are great. And our opponent's about to slash. Maybe they'll chamber us. Won't matter. As long as there's no bat, I don't think it'll matter. If there's a bat, you gotta have to worry. Ooh, a Shieldred. Okay. We will take some damage. What am I doing here? Double Reenact the Crime. That's funny, actually. Alright, discard the Omniscience. We'll take another 2 life. Reenact our Omniscience. I have to get the ugly one. It's just not fair. It's not fair. Alright, here's Beseech. Don't need to cast with Bargain. We get Invasion now. Cast Invasion. Go to Cyborg. And it's just like whatever that's called. Warzone? No. Azorius, there you go. That's what I was trying to say. Oh! Yeah, I forgot about this. This is Scar Car. We'll kill the Shelly. I don't need this land. Completely forgot about it. Shows you I'm not afraid of it at all. With my graveyard. Please give me my Jeskai Revelation. Let's bounce this. You take 4. Graveyard? I mean, do you want me to do this and play it out again? I'll play it out again. Yeah, there you go. GG! Mono black. Did not disrupt it? No. Alright, our opponent is Liquid Tux. Opponent goes first. We got the Jewel into Volt, so that's a good start. Don't know what else I have other than a good start. Might as well try to get lucky. You never know. FOMO. Alright, what is he tossing? And how much time would I have? Maybe I have no time at all. Bitter Triumph. Alright, that means I might have some time. I have my own Bitter Triumph. Do I need this Bitter Triumph? I need to dig deeper, right? That's the whole thing. Bitter Triumph. I have too many tap lands, I think. Well, he's not throwing anything into the graveyard for me to reanimate. Darkslick Shores turn 3. As expected. What is he surveilling into his graveyard? He's not surveilling at all. Another bitter reunion. Alright, I can't actually reanimate his card this turn. Oh, he's not reanimating. Not yet. He's tossing a lot of reanimating cards away though, which is kind of funny. Alright. Oh boy. It's here. You could throw away the vault. You could also throw away the land to be fair. I wonder what they have. We'll crack this one. He's got 1 mana. It should just be the Bitter Triumph trigger. It should just be the Bitter Triumph trigger, but can never be too sure. And we get the ugly Omniscience. Can't get the beautiful one out. And GG. Yep, that was a game. Alright, our opponent is Maze. Or Maze. We go first. We have a lot of the right pieces, but actually not fast trigger. So we are going to have to play around what our opponent might be doing. And our opponent's double roots and an Agatha Soul Cauldron. I mean, there's 2 roots, right? Like, can I do anything against 2 roots? Get rid of his Soul Cauldron, he can't really do something against us. Rubber. I think it's fine. I don't need to play the Fabled Passage. So he's gonna play the roots. And we're gonna try to play around that. No, he didn't play the roots. Let's just do sack to draw a card. He's gonna play the roots now. Another Maverick. And then roots, right? It's difficult. It's very difficult. Because I'm not drawing the card I need. He's not playing his roots, which is giving me so much time. Like, this is hilarious. Bitter Triumph. Alright. I can either get blue or black. I cannot get both. If I get black here, I could Beseech. And that Collector Vault will give me the island that I need. Should I need it? I know the roots are coming. One root only. Why one root only? You could have played both. But we also got a payoff. So you want to get a plant? 2 roots and plants. Didn't plant. Let's see. I need 3 blue. So I'll do it like this. Discard the Omniscience. Reenact the Omniscience. And we get the ugly Omniscience out. And our opponent's gonna rope. But it's GG. We let them do all of their thing. Now we're doing our thing. Invasion of Arcavios. Cyborg. Revelation. Bounce. 4. Let's not waste anyone's time, right? You can waste time if you want. Game's over. You want to sack your creature for card draw? You want to draw a card and get 2 lands out? Go, monks! Invasion of Arcavios. I'm going to miss that card. I knew it was like a broken ass card for combo as soon as I saw it in March of Machines. But then, back then meta was really quick, so a lot of people were just aggro. Oh no, that looks scary. I guess he's turning off all the triggers to let me win. Which is nice for him. Okay, I guess he didn't do that to let me win. GG. Alright, our opponent is David Furloop. We're going first. 2 Collector's Vault. That's nice. Gotta be careful with Collector's Vault. They're not exactly card draw, it's just a loot. So we draw a card and then we have to discard a card, right? That's sometimes we're gonna run out of cards in our hand. First, let's drop the village, because that's always gonna come to play tap in this deck. Looks like a monk. You gonna play Swamp? Or you gonna play Boros? Is it? Swamp is either Izza or Boros. Drops a flame, so off to an expected start. Yo. Well, hell queue are we on now? Where everybody ropes? Alright, we got a Collector's Vault. Better cash that in next turn for a card draw. Drop the other Collector's Vault. I don't know. It's kind of still risky. I guess I don't need to vote right now. I can wait till end turn. Just to see what he plays. Enduring Innocence. So that means our Bitter Triumphs are pretty useless. Well, so are 3 Collector's Vaults. I suppose that's one too many. Alright. I could Beseech here. Missing a land drop here is not very fun. Okay, did not miss this land drop. Now we can Beseech. 4 Omniscience. It's gonna take a few turns, right? It's Beseech and then use the Collector's Vault. I mean, they could have temporary lockdown too, so these are not here forever. But I have enough mana to last me forever, so the Enduring Innocence isn't gonna kill me. The Overlord of Mistmore, on the other hand, might kill me quickly enough. I hope I draw the right card. That is not the right card, but it's also not too wrong. If I activate this, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana left. I still think I activated. 5 mana left. I can drop this bolt. play the Enigma Jewel. And I'll play Beseech without the bargain. Cash them in right now for Omni. Alright, mono white doesn't really have that much disruptions. Maybe, I don't know. He can destroy all artifacts for 5 mana, like an Ultima, but you just blow up his board. I have 2 Reenact. And Arcavios, which is exactly what I needed. And a Bitter Triumph to help me toss that if Collector's Vault goes away. So let's see what he has. I really don't think he Ultimas here. It blows up his board. For no good reason. And I still have some time to set up if he does that. Maybe he blows up my Enigma Jewel. No, just Caretaker's Talent. Alright, he tops himself out. That's perfect for me too. That's great. Well, he can still play a land, right? This land didn't come into play this turn. Oh, it did. So he's got 1 mana left. He can't kill an enchantment. Son of a... Dude. One land! That's all he needed, just 1 land. Cannot reenact this turn because of that. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Gotta go to our sideboard. What can I actually do here? Return each non-land permanent? It's probably just a float mana. Oh. I say mono white doesn't have disruption, but they do have the perfect disruption for me. Alright. I don't think it's gonna tap out now. Carrot cake? Pretty good. It's gonna draw 2 cards. I don't think it's gonna tap out. He's got 3 mana, he's thinking about something. Didn't tap out. I could draw an Omniscience, that might help me, but that's about it. Good old Get Lost. That's not it. That's not it. I could toss an Atraxa, right? But does an Atraxa live through a Get Lost? No, it does not. So no need to toss an Atraxa when I can just play an Atraxa for free. Oh, okay. Cracks his carrot cake is wild. So now he's telling me he has nothing. Yeah, you gain that life. I would like a Dimir. I would like a... Let's get the Invasion out. Let's see, return each non-land, non-token permanent. Yeah, let's just do this. Let me do this first. This is a token, right? I think it's a token. Zombify. We get a land out. We get Leyline and this. This is a token, right? Token enchantment, yeah. Choose a creature. I don't want any more cards. I think I'm good. Cyborg. Revelation. We'll bounce this. Deal 4 to you. No. Oh, graveyard. Okay. That took it too quick. Deal 4 to you. Oh, wait, no. Bounce this. Deal 4 to you. There we go. Am I gonna deck out? 33 cards. Not gonna deck out, but I'm gonna draw too many cards. That is what's gonna happen. Graveyard, Revelation. Bounce this. 4 to you. Graveyard. 31. Yeah, I think that's enough. Bounce. Okay, you're gonna make me do this? If you insist, because I will not hesitate to do it. Graveyard. Revelation. Through a ghost vacuum. Bounce. 4. 27. I mean, I'm only drawing 2 cards per cycle. So that's like 27 is like what, 13 more cycles before I deck out. Meanwhile, you can take 3 more force to the face and you die. Yeah, it's like a puzzle, right? Please don't crash the client. My hand is huge. Bounce. Yeah, where's Arcavios? We're gonna reenact this crime one more time. That seems like a lot of damage. GG. G to the G. That was a long game. Alright, our opponent is Relu. Relu 10. Maybe he's Relu 1-0, who knows? We go first. 2 Collector's Vault makes you want to keep a 3 Atraxas. Kind of troll. We got a full house. Oh man, I'm already scared. If only I get not the Collector's Vault, the other one, the Enigma Jewel. If only. Boros, Jeskai. No, didn't need that. Did not need that. If they're a Jeskai, we do have a problem. They're not Jeskai. They're okay. They're Yuna. I mean, you're like 1 turn too late, right? I don't need to Volt right now. I can Volt on this turn. Very scary. think black or blue matters here. So we tap these two. No. Never know what we can draw. Enigma Jewel. Enigma Jewel is a very good card. Maybe I put away the Atraxa. I definitely want to start doing this, but maybe not. Because I could just play the Atraxa next turn. Yeah, okay, play Atraxa next turn. That's insane. Okay. Let's do it. It's scary. He can Una out pretty quickly here. But we've put 2 Atraxa in the graveyard, so we can Atraxa, hopefully hit a Zombify or something to Atraxa again. And maybe we can fight through the Eunice. Bomo. Esper Origin. Unfortunately, Leyline does not force him to... Hold on. Let me play through this turn before I talk. Yeah, Leyline does not force him to... Man, what am I trying to say here? Talking is hard. Exile his graveyard, that's what I'm trying to say. Unlike Rip. Rip do Piso. So... I'll just Zombify and Atraxa first. There's a Reenact. No Omniscience after all this wild Atraxa again. The Great Door. We do want to hit a land. I guess we'll hit an untapped land, maybe. Do we put out the door? Lay Down the Void is a pretty good card. It stops him from doing stuff. I could also Duress him, but I can't Lay Down the Void and Duress him on the same turn. If he has an extra mana, he will Esper Origin, right? That's his plan. What do I do to stop that? Great Door lets me draw and discard a card. That's also not bad. I mean, I don't know if it matters too much for me to exile in his graveyard. He already has Overlord in the graveyard. Una takes 2 more turns. No, let's play this out. He's probably a Una in his hand. Like, I cannot Duress out a Una. I could reenact the Atraxa. Get lost. Oh man, you sure you wanted to do that there? Atraxa's still out there. Atraxa's still out there. Is that a torch? You gotta sack something. Alright. So, Collector's Vaults. And let's reenact the crime. You know, I have the missions in the deck. I'm pretty sure I do. There it is. Bitter Triumph. Let's get another Enigma Jewel. Why not? No, I don't think I need another land. No, I'm gonna play the land this turn. So, Beseech, Invasion. Let's take all these cards. They're gonna be useful. Only gonna get 3 lands though, so. Let me Duress him. What do you actually have? Esper Origin and Dredger's Insight. I don't want him to Dredger Insight, so there he's gone. And then I got 2 mana for Bitter Triumph. It's got 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we keep a Reenact the Crime and we keep the Bitter Triumph if we need to. We also got a Great Door. This is game over. You can see his whole hand. There's nothing good against us. I might... So, that was a slight misplay. I might wanted to keep Duress on my turn. On the turn that I want to Duress to make sure that my Reenact the Crime will definitely hit Omniscience. But I'm not sure if there's much he can do. Okay. He drew a land. You can see that immediate going to priority here. You can see the Omniscience and he knows to quit. GG. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all of those Dimir criminal games, how did this deck feel? The Reenact the Crime deck does exactly what we thought it would, which is just bring out Omniscience every game, and it is very strong once you do so. This is, I think, very similar to the Abuelos deck. Obviously, I'm not going to say it's as good as Abuelos because the Abuelos is far more consistent since you don't need it in the graveyard that same turn, which means you can always toss Omniscience into the graveyard a little bit earlier, and Collector's Vote combo with Reenact has to be on the same turn for this deck. That being said, though, this deck is no slouch, and with not Abuelos, but Recharge and Resurge, Resurge and Recharge, whatever it's called, with that card rotating out, this is the only way to reanimate right now that's looking to be viable, which I think it's fair. Now, there's a few cards that I want to talk about in terms of the rotation, right? Obviously, Invasion of Arcavios is rotating out, and when it does, I think we need to put some card drawy spells like just Jeskai Revelation into the main board. I'm not sure what is the best card yet. We have to see all of the Edge of Eternity reveals to see what is the best card to put in this deck. We need to get both card draw and some sort of a recursion synergy going, and that might be difficult. I'm not sure how to get there, but here's the thing. If you get Jeskai Revelation, which is 4 damage, draw 2 card, and gain 4 life, which is already a pretty big swing, this card goes into the graveyard. If you have any Reenact the Crime in your hand, you can reenact the Jeskai Revelation. So that's an 8 life swing, which I think in most games is good enough to win you the game. So with Invasion of Arcavios leaving, I think we just need to have Jeskai Revelation in the main board. Another card that's leaving was Atraxa, right? This is a very important card, and we are going to lose it. So when we lose Atraxa, here's a few things that I think will be very good. Obviously, one is the Meringue. No, not Morgan. Meringue. I think Meringue is going to be a very good card to replace Atraxa. Obviously, it does not do the same thing, but Meringue does allow us to draw cards whenever we need to draw cards and draw cards and discard cards, right? But it also allows us to bounce 2 permanents when we hard cast Meringue. So if we have multiple Meringues, we can cast 1 Meringue, bounce 1. Or bounce the other Meringue as well as 1 permanent from our opponent's board. And if we keep cycling through those 2 Meringues, we can bounce every permanent our opponent has because the Meringues are free. So that's one thing we can do. And it's easy to get 2 Meringues out because we have not Reenact the Crime, but we have Zombify and we have Beseech to look for more Meringues. And Meringues also look for more Meringues itself. And mainly, Meringues don't get casted, right? When we do the coil and catch, that just gets cycled into our deck. So we will always have 4 Meringues in our deck to search out. So that's pretty important. And another card that I intentionally did not include was Valgavoth. Valgavoth is a card that's not rotating out that we can use to replace Atraxa. It doesn't do the same thing again, but it is a very big creature that's hard to deal with. Now, it depends on what our opponent's doing. If they're black, then they just say, target player, sack a creature, we're going to lose our Valgavoth. So we don't want to play Valgavoth against black decks. This might be not something we want to reanimate if our opponent's playing black, but anything other than black, Valgavoth is very sticky and very hard for them to kill, and he's also lifelink, and we also get to play our opponent's spells, which is pretty important. So that's a potential replacement for Atraxa, assuming we don't have some other crazy legendary creature that draws us a bunch of cards in the upcoming set, or one that we overlook in the current sets that exist. That's really all I got for this deck. I really think it's one to look out for, and that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.